Welcome back. It is Issues at Hand, WBS TV. My team is going to display those numbers. Unfortunately, they hadn't before. The messages that are coming in, Samuel Oundo says, Kibazo, I appreciate the problem we have, but is it that we have failed to prosecute the case, or that we don't have, I hope I'm getting your message right, or that we don't have the right laws, so we need new laws, or that the laws are weak? What is the issue?
The laws are weak. The laws are outdated. We need to match the laws with the changing situations. And that is why we are remodeling. We are not doing away with the old laws, but we are amending, putting additions and subtractions, so that whatever is happening is appropriately addressed by the law.
And maybe to supplement, Honorable Nabila, thank you, the legal framework for the penal code is minimal on the aspect of jurisdiction. For example, I will really echo my voice on the Pakistanis jurisdiction. A foreigner has committed an offense. Does the penal code define that? Because when sometimes we make laws for the country, natives. The natives. So maybe those are the areas where we need to make laws which stand the test of time.
But Kabale, you and I know that the foreigners in this are really far in between. The biggest offenders are ourselves, the natives. And this is my take. Tell me if this isn't really the problem. One, you haven't facilitated the police. And you at Parliament and the executive are as guilty comes on this. Because you're asking a policeman to go and investigate a case. And this is a true scenario that I have been given. You've sent the woman policeman that is dealing with the family unit at the police station. She doesn't have a car. She possibly doesn't even have a motorcycle. You're sending her to arrest in the village, and she is being taken on a bicycle to return with the victim.
Yes.
Not only the villain, the offender. Now, this woman is really at the mercy of the offender if the offender returns to the police station. So the investigative arm of the police is weak, unfacilitated, totally in shreds. Nabila Adon, the prosecuting arm of government, how many prosecutors do we have? I had the DPP Justice Chibita Wadwalo the other day at ASM saying that the number of prosecutors that he needs today to be able to clear his files at the desks is totally, and he doesn't have the lawyers he recruited to do the job. So the DPP's chambers is totally understaffed. So even when we are thinking of the cases, have we thought of facilitating the people that are supposed to do these jobs before we think about amending the laws?
Peter, we are just saying this. We cannot fail to make laws because the implementation is bad. Our role cannot be downplayed because...
Just hold on, let me take this caller. Hello? Oh, sorry, I lost them.
I can only say this. We are training. The budgets for training have been passed. All these projects with the judiciary, jealous. We are offering budget lines. We are mainstreaming the amended or the new acts into the general budgeting process. And we are advocating for more funding. Police are being trained. We are asking for consideration of trained people even when they are transferring them. You train people and they are transferred. So when we get reports like that, we appeal to the Ministry of Internal Affairs that trained officers should be, systematically, but also we maneuver around putting them in areas where they would still do the same work.
Hold on, I have Patrick Masiko here who asks, Kibazo, can you tell us how many police officers are trained to handle sexual offenses.
And the good thing I was
And
still...
plus, yes, plus, how many surgeons does the police have in regions that can examine the raped girls, I'll add on, and boys, and then okay.
We are saying, even generally, before we confine ourselves to police surgeons, there is a gap. There is shortage of doctors, even in our hospitals, especially in the rural areas. What we are trying to, how we are trying to handle that situation is to say nurses and midwives should be trained, actually.
Yes. In fact, they qualify currently, nurses and midwives.
Let me try this call. Hello? Oops. I just ended it. I'm sorry, I'm the one that ended it. I'll pick it again.
To supplement on your issue, the way you expressed how there are files which are just...
Okay.
There are many files not yet completed under the DPP, implies that there is a gap, and that's the gap we are identifying in the implementation of the law, making the law come to its
completion.
Yes.
The gap is in human resource. It is not in an absence of a law.
Obviously, we talked about...
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. What are those gentlemen not talking about adultery? Adultery is no longer a law in Uganda, please.
Come again?
Adultery.
They are not talking about adultery. Adultery is still not a law now.
Okay.
Okay.
I think the gentleman is very correct. Adultery was challenged because it was unconstitutional. It would only be a man who would report his wife getting with another man that would be considered adultery. A woman did not have the same rights to say, my man has been caught with another woman. It wasn't considered adultery. So because our constitution makes everyone, man, woman, equal before the law, it was unconstitutional.
Now,
so it was knocked down.
The issue of adultery was coming in the marriage and divorce.
Hello?
We need to explain why.
Yes, good evening.
It was in the marriage and divorce, which they refused it. They had been
Yes, you're live on WBS. Okay.
No, we
Please,
need to
when
talk
you call
about...
in, don't wait to hear yourself.
We were
on the side.
explaining adultery was in our books. However, it was segregational. It would only listen to adultery from the side of the man.
Yes.
A woman would not report adultery. So it was the unconstitutionality of the adultery clause that made it unconstitutional. So we need to have a bill back, which was actually in the marriage and divorce bill. Which
some items were good, so it was thrown out, including. Yet it was
conspired against the marriage.
The baby and the bath water were all thrown out.
You were part of the conspiracy against that law, Honorable Nabil.
No,
because you said there are some items. I mean, elements.
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, and how are you?
We are well. Your name, question, or comment? Yes, we can hear you. Be very brief.
I'm Customer of Uganda. From a high-field think tank. I think Uganda's unending challenges cannot be solved in this rotten system. Customer of Uganda.
Okay. He thinks the system is rotten.
The Ugandan.
Yes. As we go out, Honorable Nabila and Honorable Kabali, do we need laws? Do we need implementation of those that exist? I mean, with those that exist, if they were implemented, would you still be crying out for a new law? I'll start with you, Honorable Kabali.
Thank you, Peter. Peter, I told you very well from the beginning with my colleague, Honorable Nabila, that there are some lacunas in the penal code. That's why we are saying there is a need for amendment. We are not seeking for a new law, but we are seeking for addition of certain areas. For example, definitions of keywords, because if they say person in authority, person in trust, gang rape, all of those need to be defined. Other than if a person said, I was raped, then you begin saying, how can you be raped by 10 men? The punishments must be clearly laid out. If a punishment is for one person, a person might say, I'm petitioning against this. I want to see how 10 men can rape. Yet, in fact, they can do what? Rape. So if in the penal code they are there, it can apply.
Honorable Nabila, parting short.
As we are living, we are just saying, yes, we need to make laws because laws cannot be static. There's changing situations. Yes, we need to address the bottlenecks in the justice system. We need to call for action, which we are doing as UWOPA. We need a political will from the ministers, from the executive, from the president, so that even society is aware of what needs to be done.
Thank you very much. Of course, the debate will continue. My gut is still that implement those laws that we have. Facilitate the police, facilitate the DPP, so that at least those that we have can be thoroughly prosecuted, and then we can look beyond and say there was a window here and a window there
Peter,
that
also
need
corruption.
to be plugged. Well, corruption and Uganda must be Siamese twins.
Yeah, people must change. They must
Viewers,
change at
catch
one
you on
point.
Friday in the face-off, a day before the NRM goes into their delegates conference. I'm loving the music that is coming through there, and we'll have several of the gentlemen from the NRM. We'll have 2 of them join the crew on Friday night. I'll ask my production team to grant me an extra 30 minutes then, if they allow. Catch you then.
Okay.